Disney Channel star Skai Jackson facing legal trouble after an altercation with her boyfriend last week. According to multiple reports, the actress was arrested for domestic battery over a public fight with her boyfriend that happened at Universal City Walk in Los Angeles.
I am kind of shy as a person. Yeah, people would never guess, but yeah, I'm very reserved.
Allegedly, security called police after claiming they saw Skai shove her boyfriend, and footage of the incident reportedly showed the 22-year-old push him twice. She was then arrested, cited, and released a few hours later.
I'm strong and I know I can get through anything.
Those same reports claim the star and her boyfriend actually deny getting physical. And get this, they reportedly revealed they're actually engaged and expecting a baby. In the past, Skai's been vocal about her advocacy for preventing bullying, especially online.
People know I'm an advocate for anti-bullying. The more I saw it, I was like, you know what? No. I'm going to speak out on about it because I think it's really important, and people go through these struggles every day in life, and for me, it's kind of like my duty with the big platform that I have is to use it for good.
Skai's domestic battery case will be reviewed at the LA County DA's office to determine whether charges are warranted. ET has reached out to Skai's rep for comment.
You won't believe this. Skai Jackson's baby daddy just got arrested, and the charges have everyone's jaws on the floor. Mistreating her? Oh, it's way deeper than anyone expected, and the streets are buzzing with receipts and whispers of what really went down. Grab your tea, because this drama is unfolding fast, and you won't want to miss a single detail. So, it's official. Skai Jackson finally confirmed the pregnancy rumors. But the drama? Oh, it's wild. Her baby daddy, real name DeAndre Bergen, but he goes by the nickname Yerky, isn't exactly celebrating. The second she announced she was pregnant, he hopped on Facebook and started airing her out, saying she knew he didn't want any more kids. Turns out Yerky's already juggling multiple baby mamas and a handful of kids while making regular trips in and out of jail. Honestly, it's giving what was she thinking vibes, because letting him knock her up might have been her biggest mistake yet. People are definitely letting her know about online. I can't believe Skai Jackson let this creature hit, and another person said, damn, she had baby by a goofy. But that's not even the worst of it. Yerky's been on live bragging about how he has no problem putting his hands on his baby mamas if they act out of line. Yup, you read that right. No wonder the cops were called a few weeks back after someone reported them fighting in public. When the police showed up, both Skai and Yerky played it cool, saying it wasn't physical, just a misunderstanding. Skai even claimed they were happily engaged and excited about the baby. But here's the twist. Deputies reviewed video footage that showed she pushed him. Skai ended up arrested for misdemeanor domestic battery, got fined, and was released a few hours later. Not long after that mess, paparazzi caught Skai and Yerky in another heated argument in the streets. This time, it was all verbal, but things looked bad. Skai was visibly upset and crying. Those photos not only showed how intense the situation was, but also confirmed what everyone suspected. Her baby bump was clearly visible under her oversized hoodie. Up until then, Skai had been tight-lipped about everything, but after those pics went viral, she finally decided to speak up. She dropped exclusive photos and shared her excitement with People magazine, saying, I'm thrilled to begin this new chapter in my life, embracing motherhood and diving into my new acting projects. My heart is so full. At the end of the day, I look at myself as just a regular person that people happen to like. By the time she made the announcement, nobody was surprised. We all saw the bump in those paparazzi shots. The only person who seemed in denial was Skai herself, but now the cat's officially out of the bag. People couldn't help but notice something odd about Skai's maternity photos. Her baby daddy, Yerky, was nowhere to be seen. Naturally, this got folks wondering if he skipped out because he's not exactly thrilled about her being pregnant. For those who don't know, this dude already has 3 kids with 3 different women, and one of them recently dragged him on social media, calling him a bum and a deadbeat. So it's not hard to figure out that the last thing he probably wants is another kid, especially with someone as high profile as Skai. And it doesn't stop there. Yerkie's also a felon who's been in and out of jail for years. The internet even dug up an old video of his baby mama and 2 kids hugging him goodbye as he got escorted to jail in handcuffs. Anyway, back to Skai's pregnancy announcement. Yerkie didn't hold back. As soon as she went public with the news, he ran straight to Facebook and had some not so nice things to say about the whole situation. On WAP, I'm salty I got this dumb Disney Channel pregnant. I hate this. So after Yerkie posted his rant on Facebook and it started blowing up, he quickly deleted it, but not before people grabbed screenshots and spread them everywhere. That's when Skai's best friend, Sydney Angela, stepped in to defend her. Sydney wasn't having it and went off on folks for dragging Skai. She said whatever Yerkie posted doesn't even matter because Skai's not with him anymore. She added that Skai's already dealing with a lot during her pregnancy and doesn't need people dissecting her life or reminding her about her questionable choice in baby daddies. But Yerkie just keeps on being weird. He went on to post this not longer after.
Hey bro, that nigga in this wood right here. Stop comparing me to a dead nigga, man. The fuck, is y'all cool? Man, what the fuck? Is y'all cool? Y'all keep on comparing me to a nigga that's dead.
Hi bro. In the video, Yerkie told viewers to stop comparing him to a dead person. A clear shot at Skai's late Jessie co-star, Cameron Boyce. For those who don't know, Cameron tragically passed away in July 2019 at just 20 years old due to an epilepsy-related seizure. Skai, who worked with him on Disney Channel's Jessie from 2011 to 2017, has always spoken highly of him. She once called him her brother in an emotional tribute too. Fast forward to now and we got Skai's baby daddy Yerkie getting arrested for a parole violation in Cincinnati, Ohio. Not cool. So, here's what went down. The police picked Yerkie up for a juvenile parole violation warrant, but he wasn't going quietly. When officers confronted him, he tried to make a run for it. Yeah, Yerkie thought he could outmaneuver the cops. On foot, no less. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out. He ended up falling during his getaway attempt and got himself a little souvenir for the trouble, a cut on his cheek. But the drama didn't stop there. The police weren't playing around. A video of the arrest hit social media, showing officers pinning him to the ground while slapping on the cuffs. You can see them holding him down while waiting for backup to arrive. As for the charges, Yerkie was hit with a misdemeanor for obstructing official business. That's basically legal speak for trying to run from the cops. After being booked though, he didn't stay behind bars for long. He was released not long after the incident. Oh, and let's not forget, this isn't the first time Skai's name has been dragged into legal drama. Just a few months back, there were reports of her own brief arrest tied to a domestic violence incident involving Yerkie. Those charges were eventually dropped, but the headline still left a mark. For fans of Skai, it's becoming harder to reconcile the girl who once lit up Disney Channel screens with the personal drama that keeps making headlines. And with Yerkie's latest stunt, it seems like things are only getting more complicated. The question now is, what's next for Skai and her relationship with Yerkie? Or better yet, where the hell is this going to end? One thing is obvious at this point. When it comes to Skai, who she is as a star is not even close to who she is in private. But why is that? Well, let's see if we can answer that. So Skai Jackson's journey from Disney darling to embroiled in personal drama is the kind of story no one saw coming. When you hear her name, most people immediately think of Zuri Ross, the sassy, quick-witted character she played on Jessie. Skai was a role model for a generation of kids who grew up watching her, and she seemed to have her head firmly on her shoulders. That's why it's so jarring for fans to see her in this messy situation with Yerkie, a man who's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. On the one hand, you've got Skai, who built her brand on being polished, professional, and put together. On the other hand, you've got Yerkie, whose rap sheet includes battery charges, parole violations, and a reputation for being a deadbeat dad. Fans are asking themselves how Skai, of all people, people ended up tangled in this chaos. For a lot of them, it feels like a betrayal of the image she's portrayed for years. But the thing is, this isn't just about image, it's about choices and the fallout of those choices. Skai's supporters are torn between wanting to rally behind her and feeling disappointed that she got herself involved with someone who seemed so obviously bad for her. The drama has cast a shadow over her previously untouchable reputation. Skai's not the first celebrity to go through something like this, though. From Britney Spears and Kevin Federline to Summer Walker and London, there's no shortage of stories about famous women who found themselves in messy relationships that played out in the public eye. These situations always spark the same questions. Why do talented, successful women end up with partners who seem so beneath them? And more importantly, how do they move on and rebuild? The parallels are striking. Britney's relationship with Kevin Federline was heavily criticized at the time, and it took years for her to regain control of her narrative. Similarly, Summer Walker's on-again, off-again drama with London on Daytrack has been a cautionary tale for fans about ignoring red flags. These stories are a reminder that even celebrities, people who seemingly have it all, aren't immune to making choices that leave their fans scratching their heads. What's frustrating for Skai's supporters is that they've seen how these stories can go. They know the toll this kind of public drama can take, especially when there's a child involved. And while some celebrities have managed to bounce back stronger than ever, others have struggled to shake the stigma of their bad relationships. Fans are hoping Skai will learn from these examples and take steps to protect herself and her child from any further chaos. At this point, the question on everyone's mind is, where does Skai go from here? She's already announced her pregnancy and seems to be embracing the idea of motherhood, but fans are hoping she'll also take a hard look at her relationship choices. Many believe that distancing herself from Yerke completely is the first step toward getting back on track. After all, her career is far from over, and she still has the potential to bounce back and rebuild her image. But the path forward won't be easy. Skai will need to prove to her fans and to herself that she's capable of making better decisions. Whether that means focusing on her career, leaning on her support system, or simply taking time to reflect, one thing's clear. Skai's story isn't over yet. Fans are just hoping the next chapter will be a little less messy and a lot more inspiring. In the meantime, the gossip and drama surrounding her situation aren't going anywhere. For better or worse, Skai Jackson is trending, and people can't stop watching to see what happens next. Make sure you stick around, because we'll be the first ones to let you know what happens next. In the meantime, make sure to check this video out.
I just wanted to give it a moment to let this photo sink in to your mind before I opened up on this, my latest video concerning everything that is wrong with Black America today. You know, our dear friend, the late great David Carroll, used to have a favorite phrase that he would say, and he would say it frequently throughout his videos. It was one of many phrases that he created throughout his tenure on YouTube as a social commentator, and what he called as himself, entitling himself a social critic. He would say that Hollywood screenwriters simply cannot make this shit up. And this is brutally ironic when you consider who it is we're actually talking about here. Now, you know, usually I start my videos by showing you a collage of pictures. All of these pictures, whether they're screenshots or downloads within the collage, are meant to represent anything and everything within the topic that I am speaking about. But when doing research on this story that I came across completely by accident, nobody emailed it to me. I just came across it mistakenly at random while looking for something else. This image makes such a strong statement in regards to what we've been trying to tell you, what I've been trying to tell you about these hoes. And in this specific case, these black hoes across the board. You need no stronger of a statement and poster child of what we try to explain when we tell you that these black females do not want good men. They do not want to be family oriented. And they are the enemy of the common, hardworking, honest, law-abiding black man than this. Somebody riddle me this. Somebody answer this question for me. Because what we see in this photo is not unusual in black America. I think now we're up to what? 80% of black bitches that are single, leading single households of children with no man or no stable relationship with the father of those children. Is it? But it's one thing for just your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill black female to do this shit. But for someone the caliber of a Skai Jackson, once America's little sweetheart, the child star on Disney that everybody thought was so cute and so adorable, like Rudy from The Cosby Show, presented such a wholesome image of what little black girls should be instead of these thoughts out here in the streets. And even as she grew up, I don't know if she had that disease like Gary Coleman or what, but she still, even in her teens and into her early adulthood, she looked like a little girl. I will say what little solace can be taken from this is that her body finally caught up with her fucking head. Because for the longest time, she looked like she was a concentration camp survivor from the Holocaust. I'm not even trying to be funny. I was wondering what the hell was wrong with the girl, why she was so skinny, but her head was so damn big. But for someone the caliber of a Skai Jackson to be caught not only in the numerous scandals, because this is not the first video I've done about this broad. This is actually the third time that I've come across this little hoe over the years. I think over the course of 5 years, I've done 3 videos. Okay? But nonetheless, when you consider how this puppet started her career as this, all-American little black girl that, was feisty for her age, but quick, witty, but also showed some large measure of decorum and class, and even tried to portray herself in that sense, off screen, because she wanted to push a certain profile of herself to her fans. Right down to the squeaky little voice that she had. To see this hoe now, 10 years later, walking through a parking lot in the hood in cheap dollar store sandals and an overcoat hiding a huge belly bulge from being 8 or 9 months pregnant, and a fucking shower cap Jiffy Pop bag over her head, while yelling into a phone after just getting into a heated argument with her criminal ass half-breed baby daddy, who has 3 other baby mothers, multiple felonies, in and out of jail, and all of this on top of the fact that Skai Jackson herself just months earlier had got arrested after assaulting this thug boyfriend of hers. One of many thugs that she has dated, mind you, over her time as a Disney star. But the worst thug yet, because this dude didn't even have money. He wasn't even famous. To see her like this, it speaks volumes. You know, I'm really struggling to find the words because, you know, let me put it to you this way. When I made the second video that I made about her in, I think that was 2021, about how she had gotten caught with Solange Knowles' son, who was 16 years old at the time, and they were having a little foreplay, and he recorded it. And she was like 19 years old, and there was an obvious, not much of one, but there was an obvious age discrepancy there, and some people were asking if it was legal. And she also had dated a much older guy that was 22 when she was like 17. So, you know, she was into the big age mismatch thing. And, you know, looking at her previous, you know, semi-famous Pookie boyfriends, you know, I cut into this hole as hard as I could then. But if you had have told me even back then that Skai Jackson, of all people in Hollywood, this little scrawny asshole, this little innocent doll face looking fraud, would be led away in handcuffs after fighting with her boyfriend at University City, which, from what I understand, is part of Disneyland, in or near LA, arrested and knocked up by a thug that has 3 baby mamas, and now she's the 4th. I, even back then, would have had a hard time believing you. It's one thing to be a thug lover, but to be so fucking fake in front of the TV screen or on social media, painting this wholesome image of yourself, that you are even able to mask the fact that you are a violent hyena on top of being a thug-loving ghetto gagger. I mean, dude, see, and this is why when people used to get mad. I used to have this thing that I did, and I did it with Skai Jackson. I might put up the link to the second video that I did of her, because the first video I wasn't really going in on her as hard. I did go in on her, but I was using her as an example of why black men need to stop being so fucking thirsty for these hoes. I was addressing, and I think that was back in 2019 when I first came across this little hoe. I was addressing how she was calling out black men that were blowing up her DMs on like Twitter or something like that, and she put one of them on blast. Yet I went and I looked up her Who Dates Who on wdw.com and saw that she had a laundry list of Pookie types even back then when she was in her late teens. of dudes that she was sleeping around with and dating. Guys that clearly are not stand-up guys. It's a who's who of the degenerate factory that, you know, the powers that be selected, like Sexy Red, only it was the male equivalent in Hollywood that she was fucking around with, even back then. But see, I warned y'all. I warned you in one of my last videos with that that story about that girl that got killed in New Orleans after she snuck out of the house when her mama told her to, and how everybody was saying, you know, how you know, innocent she was, and you know, how kind and how sweet she was and how pretty she was. And you look at that girl, what was her name? Nikera Didow, and how she did look like, you know, a darling little angel in the face. She was a little cutie pie. But I warned y'all even back then, okay? Looks can be deceiving. I used to do this thing, like I said, I did it with Skai Jackson, where I would superimpose the face of a ghetto gagger or a ghetto gag scene of a hoe that looked almost identical to the hoe that I was making a video about. And it used to fool a lot of people. I trolled with Paris Milan with that back in the day. Some of y'all may remember, and she got mad. Even though I never actually said that was her, she thought it looked like her, so she got mad and started accusing me of saying that she did the P word. But I never said it. She was the one who called herself a webcam model. But the thing is, people would get mad at that. But the point that I was trying to make, other than the fact that you can almost handpick a hoe that's done ghetto gaggers for almost every one of these Hollywood and social media hoes that you see that look just like the motherfucker. The other point that I was trying to make, and it's a point that I've made without making those you know, prank collages, is that all of these females, regardless of whether they do adult entertainment, as they want to call it, or not, all of these hoes are nasty, scandalous, degenerate, and deviant. All of them. Okay? It don't matter how cute and sweet and innocent she look. You dumb niggas are out here dating these hoes, taking them out on you know, fancy outings to these 5-star restaurants, taking them on vacation to these exotic locations. I know a lot of these hoes that you see on Instagram, you know, taking pictures in Dubai and all of that shit, you know, at these 5-star hotels, you know, shipping champagne and all that fake shit. I know they're not paying for that shit on their own. I know they're piggybacking off of some simp, you know, whether he be black or not, that they're going there with. I know that. Ain't no way you can have a hoe 19, 20, 21 years old. This bitch ain't even, she's barely even grown up. Where the hell she getting the money to do all this traveling? I hear people say traveling ain't cheap. That's for people that make enough money to be able to say that. What's not, or they say that traveling is cheap or traveling is affordable. That's for people who can afford to say that. Okay? What may be affordable to you is not affordable to most people. Especially if you're not doing it, especially if you're doing that shit 3 or 4 times out of the fucking year. Okay? I know these bitches don't have the money to be footing that. They're doing all kinds of scandalous shit, most of it escorting and hoeing, to get in those positions, to take those pictures and those videos and wear that designer clothes or clothing and shoes, a lot of which is on layaway, that they renting out somewhere, or somebody bought for them on credit that they're going to take back as soon as they get done front. I warned y'all about this. Even that's the thing though. Because I made a video about Barack Obama's daughter, the eldest one, Malia, okay? And how she was acting like a fucking wild S word, right? I warned y'all for years. It don't matter. Even the president's daughter, dude. All of these fucking hoes are the same. It don't matter. It don't matter whether they come from privilege. It don't matter whether they have money and fame. It don't matter whether, they flip burgers or escort and they grew up in the hood. It don't matter. They all have the whole mindset. How could Skai Jackson of all people? Okay, so she has a thing for, and see, this is the thing, because a dumb motherfucker will come to me and say, well, what do you want? At least she's dating black guys. She dated this Vietnamese savage that's a rapper, a Vietnamese American savage that's a rapper, and she has a thing for a lot of these weirdo half-breed looking motherfuckers too. But she has dated a fair amount of black males, but a person say, well, at least she's dating mostly black men. But that's the thing. She's in Hollywood. She has that classy look. That's how she advertised herself to her fans. Why doesn't she just go out and get a normal brother out of Hollywood? She's cute enough, right? When she put on all that fake up. Of course, in this photo, she didn't look so fucking cute. It's amazing what happened when them bitches take that wig and that fake up off, ain't it? She just looked like another fight in the streets of Detroit somewhere. As a matter of fact, if the paparazzi or whoever hadn't taken that photo, we wouldn't even known who the hell this was. We would have thought it was just, fucking Rakisha down the fucking street. They work at the fucking local Burger King. When are y'all gonna get it, bruh? Because see, what I was about to say was, she has sported that classy, that fake image of herself for so many years. That she's classy and not trashy. Right? She's relatively cute when she put on all that fake up. She has that innocent look and that innocent tone. Right? All that fraudulent bullshit. She could have got just a stand-up guy in Hollywood or in the entertainment industry to date, and have a child with and have a family with. She didn't get that, but because behind that whole facade, remember we used to talk about how black bitches would change the tone of their voice depending on the environment that they're in, where they could, like Eve's bitch ass, where they could go from sounding and acting hood as hell to acting all bougie with that fake white Valley girl accent. Everybody knows now the cat's out of the bag, even with black females, saying that she's a fraud. She's a fake. She's a bigger fucking fake than Cynthia G and Crystal and Karen. She's been a fraud. The reality is this. No matter what she looked like, no matter what she sounded like, no matter what character she portrayed that led her to her little fame, okay? She's always been a ghetto gagger and a hood rat at heart. I see that this bitch was born in New York City. I don't know what part of the city, okay? But she didn't grow up necessarily destitute. I think her parents were middle class or something like that. They sent her to acting school when she was real young, and she got her big break signing a Disney contract, and she got paid relatively well. What the fuck is she doing broke, walking around in Ohio with this scamming ass felon, this fucking Pookie, this savage, that is by definition what the hypocrite known as Cynthia G would call a breeder. The definition, the walking embodiment of a three trash bag Dusty. What the fuck is she doing with this clown? Even black females that mess with these type of dudes are scratching their head about this shit. What is she doing with this clown? And Skai Jackson and all her bullshit, if you put the facade back on for just a second, no, give it a minute. Skai Jackson, the cute little girly faced Skai Jackson, the innocent little figure, soft-spoken, America's sweetheart, always wears, classy clothing, at least when she was younger, right? It seems like the perfect example for black, to try to change the narrative and present a different model for young black girls coming up to follow. If you put that facade back on for just a second and look at the Skai Jackson that the entertainment industry brought up, and the Skai Jackson that people were fooled to believe. You go back to another phrase, another saying that David Carroll would say that would always crack me the fuck up. He said, all these black females and their simp manginas that would come to his comment section or come to comment section of other black men like myself, and we used to get this frequently, and say, oh, you just mad cause, some black woman must have hurt you. You can't get no pussy. You ain't got no hoes. I even had dumb niggas say this to me on the job. You ain't got no hoes. You can't get no woman. He said, you can't get no black woman? Are you fucking serious? He said, you can get a black bitch when you can't get something to eat. He said you can get a black bitch when you can't get something to eat, bruh. Was he lying? Dude, even over Cynthia G, even over Malia Obama, there is no more of a shining example of this than this shit right here. You can get a black bitch, any black bitch. That's David Carroll. He said, if you got enough game, you don't even have to have a lot of game with these hoes. Okay, I've had them approach me on multiple occasions. I don't even deal with them no more. I don't carry no swag in my back pocket. I don't dress, like no thug. These dick and attention thirsty, hungry S words. He said you can get one of these hoes and have one on every side of town. Every side of the town that you live in. If you know what you're doing. About a year ago, I was running an errand in this little podunk Mayberry town. I saw this little raggedy Machine Gun Kelly reject looking ass white dude, looked like he was about in his late 30s, just raggedy as hell, looked like he worked out of a mechanic shop or something, coming out, dirty shirt and everything. I seen him coming out this little shuttle shack fucking house with a hole in the fucking roof, and right behind him were these two light-skinned fucking half-breed black chicks, both of them cute. They look like sisters, and one of them was holding a baby. And I don't know if they were just staying together and one of them he was in a relationship with, or he was banging both of them. And when they opened up their mouth, I assumed they was Caribbean niggas like Dominican. But I'm looking at him and I'm looking at them like, whatever happened to the term out of my league? And see, that's why, that's why I love social media, because when was the last time you heard that saying, he's out of her league? That's one of the reasons why I love social media, because it killed a lot of fallacies, a lot of assumptions that we had about people around the world, a lot of assumptions that the people from around the world had about us, and a lot of assumptions that people had about these bitches. That fake, Marilyn Monroe, untouchable, high class sex symbol thing has been replaced as, she's just a hoe with paint on her face. She's just a hoe who has the camera pointed in her direction. Because we get to see through social media, from OnlyFans to Instagram, what these bitches really, truly are at heart. And now, there is no such thing as privacy. They leave nothing to the imagination. You can damn near know the social security number of a lot of these hoes. They so fucking public with their fucking dysfunction. So that he's way out of her league. You look at this messy faced fucking half-breed retard that she let get her pregnant. Even if he wasn't a multiple-time felon and breeder, this dude shouldn't have been able to touch Skai Jackson if she was the living embodiment of the fraud that she was trying to portray to people. And some people claim she was even running scams online, doing fake giveaway marathons, scamming people out of their money because she's broke. She done ran out of that Disney money and she can't get no more gigs since she's been pregnant and been getting in all of this drama. I don't know how true that is, but there were other rumors that were saying that the reason why she was with this dude was because she was broke and he's been pimping her out. I don't know how true that is. But whether it's true or not, okay, what could be more awkward than Skai Jackson, Disney's little American sweetheart, little innocent-faced darling, getting knocked up by a fucking savage, a no-money-having, multiple-time felon, savage. And she can't stop dating these dudes. What could be more awkward than that? This dude, he should have been, as they say, way out of her league, as they used to say. But now we see there is no fucking league. There's the smart and there's the stupid. There's the girls and then there's the hoes. And I'm sorry to break it to you simps that still believe in true love. Most of these bitches out here are hoes. Listen, man, it don't matter. Even Eddie Murphy brought this up, okay? In his skit back in 1987, his stand-up comedy album called Raw. He said he hates those shy and timid women that don't want to talk. You be on dates and they, be acting all shy and timid, looking down, twiddling with their finger, playing on their phones. He's like, "What you doing, bitch?" I'm right here, and the audience bust out laughing. He said Eddie Murphy, then he went into this spindle. He was like, "I can't stand them shy fucking, them shy acting hoes." And he say, you know why? Because them the ones, they be so damn quiet because they know they've been raising hell all their fucking life. He say they're afraid. He said skeletons in their closet. Some of them bitches got cemeteries in their fucking closet and shit. He said they scared to open their mouth because they're afraid a bone is going to fly out their mouth or some shit. He wasn't lying, bro. So a lot of these shy hoes, these church bitches, these hoes be trying to act all sophisticated, be trying to act like they scared to be touched by an ant, much less a dude. Behind the scenes, these bitches be fuck wild, dude. They be fuck wild. Heck, you see them on Ghetto Gaggers. Dude, I know a lot of y'all don't watch it, but if you've seen as many Ghetto Gagger scenes as I have, you cannot imagine, they have, like the loud, just obvious, messy hood rat, but they have a lot of these little shy cutie pie types to be acting all innocent. I'm like, dude, how the fuck during the interview, how are you here getting ready to do what you're about to do if you're acting the shy and innocent? And that same hoe, after that Ghetto Gag scene, can go out into the world for people who don't see that video and act that way and have people thinking that she's, just an innocent little fucking darling angel that, is so classy and so kind and just a nice young girl. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these hoes be wearing fucking nun suits. It's unbelievable, dude, how full of shit these hoes are, bro. It's more unbelievable how stupid a lot of you motherfuckers are. Y'all are just stupid, man. Keep falling for it with these bitches. The truth of the matter is, a lot of these hoes, and now we see Skai Jackson included, are just as nasty, just as messy, and just as fucked up in the head as they claim these guys are. Okay? Skai Jackson keeps messing with these fucking degenerate ass dudes that, by societal standards, on paper, shouldn't even be able to come within 100 feet of her. Not only is she cute, she was portraying an innocence and classy persona. she was making, Hollywood type money. She has fame. She had status. She threw all of that away for some half-breed thuggo Pookie dick of a dude that already got 3 baby mamas. If y'all, at this point, bruh, I can't help you. If you don't see the writing on the wall, then you just gonna have to wind up like fucking P. Diddy and R. Kelly, sitting in a fucking jail cell or dead. Cause messing with any of these hoes, any of them, at this point, is a health and a safety risk. So like they say, enter at your own risk. You pay your money, just like Las Vegas, you pays your money and you takes your chances. Enter at your own risk. You heard a flight risk? It's a fuck risk. You fuck any one of these hoes, you liable to catch something like that AIDS infested hoe or that HIV infested hoe here on YouTube trying to normalize having unprotected sex with somebody that has HIV. You liable to wind up set up and robbed or killed like them dumb niggas going down there to South America. Or you liable to wind up with some crazy bitch that you were stupid enough to knock up that's now dragging you through the fucking court system, taking your ass to the fucking cleaners financially. I don't know what else to tell y'all, man. If this, dude, listen. If going from this to going to this, if that don't tell you all you need to know about these hoes, bro, look at this bullshit, dude. Bruh, if that don't tell you everything you need to know about these hoes, on top of everything I've told y'all over the course of the 10 plus years that I've been doing this shit, I don't know what will. I'm out.